Thank you all for coming to my Key to Happiness TED Talk. Hopefully now you can access the door to your happiness with that key. Before we part ways, I love to hear from the audience just a couple of takeaways. Yes, you, Aubrey.
I prefer the better things. Niggas with no money act like money isn't everything.
Right, yeah. If you prefer the finer things, yes, you will need money for your happiness. Um, Christopher, I think it was. Christopher W.
That's real, yo. I ain't exaggerating at all, man. The more money you make, the more problems you get.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm glad you could piggyback off of Aubrey there. I'd like to have some of those more money problems. you know. How about you? There, yeah.
Nothing in America is free.
Yeah, I mean, America is it's a place where things cost. Yeah, I will say that. Does anyone else agree? Does anyone think that that's right?
This is right. It can't get no righter.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah. Is anything free that you can get your happiness?
Love is.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, last one. Sean.
There are a lot
Sean
of
C.
people with
Carter,
tons
I
of money
believe,
who are unhappy because either they
Gotcha,
become a
yeah.
prisoner of their money, or they
Okay,
become
Sean,
so
okay.
consumed with
I
getting
think
money
you
that
were gonna
they
tell us.
don't allow time for happiness.
Yeah, okay, ho. Yeah, you're hitting something. All right. Hey, Sean keeps talking. Enjoy the show, y'all.
You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
What are we talking about?
Where'd that come from?
Most all of us use them every day.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means.
You know, we just say them as if they really made sense.
I mean, how silly is that?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
What is he talking about?
Hey, what's good? You know what it is, and you know who it is. It's me, Mario, and welcome to Appraise the Phrase, Origins of Everyday Expressions, where we're here to do 3 things. Unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, and assess the value of common everyday phrases. I have gotten the intro down pat. Like, I didn't even stutter, I didn't blink. I was ready. I could have jogged to the kitchen and back. That was woo. I think it's because of the berries.
Not a nan nutter do that intro like you do that intro, Mario. Not a nan nutter.
Not a
do
nan
that, man, I
nutter.
swear, boy, not a nan nutter do that. I don't even know what nan nutter means, but not a nan nutter.
Put that on the list.
Put that on the list. Look. So I might as well get the other introductions out the way, because 20 getting comfortable too. My man 20's in the building as always. What's good, 20? How you feel, man?
What's going on, man? Always great, man. Always great.
Open your eyes, man. Open your eyes.
Nah, man, I'm taking in the moment.
There you go. I like that. Well, as you can see, or as you gonna see, we got some more of the Expression Appraisal Team in the building. Long time coming. 2 of my favorite people in the world that make the show go. There we go. Yeah. So let me go around order. I got our creative director in the building, Mick. Okay, so Boom's very own Mick in the building. What's good, Mick?
Hi guys.
There we go. And then we got, so held us down, episode 1. She wasn't able to make it, still made time for us. That's how much she's committed to Expression Appraisal. And now you and I get to have the pleasure of having Fave in the building. Let me see your face, Fave.
Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm so glad to be with y'all in person.
Yeah, long time coming. It's going to be a fun episode. So today, it's a phrase that I was actually scrolling Twitter because I just come up with the phrases. Some are near and dear to me, more near and dear than others. But it was just, I ran into this, and it started a little mini dialogue with the person that was tweeting it, and then it started internal dialogue for me. And it's one of those polarizing phrases that has a lot. I mean, every phrase we try to bring up has influence, but this one, I think, especially culturally, has an influence. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about a phrase that has a lot of influence. So please, as much as facts as we bring out, Expression Appraisal Team, I need y'all to have like y'all's opinions and feelings loaded up. So today we are going to appraise money can't buy happiness. Okay, money can't buy happiness. I don't know how y'all feel about that. But we're going to appraise that. So I'm going to go around and just see where everybody is at with checking in on, just like when you hear it, you first hear it. So 20, where you at? Money can't buy happiness.
I mean, like, that's one of those things where, I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, I feel like that's something that broke people say. You're not even listen.
No, we have to get there with it. Yeah.
Hear me out. Because I figure I can start off that strong to kind of smooth it out. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it needs to be that smooth,
like icing. Reason why I say that is because, you know, when it comes to whatever your happiness is, you know, it's a situation of the best way to get to that happiness. If it's I would say tangible, if it's a physical thing, is monetary, bro. Be honest with you. I mean, like, I feel like it brings more happiness than it brings more happiness than it brings negativity. Now, if you have two people, if you're talking about in a relationship, then that might be different. You know what I'm saying? Because then both of you guys got to be on the same accord. But if you're talking about solely individual person, depending on whatever your happiness is, I feel like, you know, money is definitely going to play a huge part in trying to reach it. That's just, you know, me being an older adult and not being a naive child.
It's not that it's scathing. It's just that it's direct, and I can appreciate that.
I thought you said had the emotions loaded. My bad. I thought you said.
I did. No. I didn't know. There's an automatic and manual. There's automatic weaponry and there's manual weaponry.
I thought you was like, come for real. I thought you said come for real on the show. My bad, dog.
No, 20 comes from the school is you don't pull it out unless you're gonna use it.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So, Mick, where you at with it? Where you at with just how does it make you? What does it evoke out of you when you hear money can't buy happiness?
The first thing it evokes is I sure love to find the fuck out. But I'm gonna say that's honestly I agree with it. That's true.
Oh, you believe it's true? Okay. Again, I love it. Polarize me. Fave. Money can't buy happiness.
Yeah. Hey, y'all boys better think about your questions because I got them. Hey, listen. Go ahead.
Hold on, Fave. Let Fave. Go ahead.
It can't? Question mark?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Listen. Okay, at the very crux of it, like, it can't, right? That's because we got millionaires, billionaires, people depressed and suicidal, got all the money in the world. It can't. But it can make shit a whole lot easier for you, though. You live a little decent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you got a couple dollars. And that just is what it is. Coming from nothing or, you know, struggling or something as small as, you know, living check to check to not living check to check no more, to where you got a little couple dollars in that savings account. It should be smooth. I can vouch for that. It be decent.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, you got a lot more happier days than you do sad days, and you feeling crummy. When you can check in them accounts and they got a couple of zeros in there. I'ma just say that.
Let me interject a little bit, because if you're saying money equals happiness, then that's different. If you're saying money is happiness, then that's different. But when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, I think buying is the actual.
Okay, now you can. Bro. Hey, man, we talked about it off air. That's turtleneck behavior. First of all, that's turtleneck behavior. To switch the word, because that's where I'm at. Like, okay, my thing where I'm taking it is insert anything can't buy happiness. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, okay, if we talk about happiness like that, okay, fucking family can't buy happiness, nigga. Because we said, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Like, and the reason why I put that into it, that level of extreme, is because, one, what are we talking about when we say happiness? And two, before we get into everything where it comes from, I'm thinking it is being placed in a scenario where it's like, don't be so worried about money. And it's like, that's bad advice, maybe? That's like bad advice to live through. All right, let's get into the Webster's meaning of money can't buy happiness, man. So Webster's says that money can't buy happiness means that wealth and material goods will not bring long-term happiness. Okay, so like they're adding in some adjectives. Wealth and material goods will not bring long-term happiness. All right, I'm gonna reverse order this so we can get. All right, we got the definition now. What are our feelings about the definition, Fave?
Long-term happiness, I can agree. It can bring some instant gratification and some satisfaction for sure. But long-term, it's about, it's not about bread. It's really not about money in the long term. I can agree with that.
Okay. Mick.
So yeah, that goes basically to why I said what I said, because I feel like happiness is a marathon. It's a journey. It's not like, that's why it's the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, because it's something that you're gonna have to fight for every single day. Like, it's not just like, I'm happy right now. Like, no, you're content right now, but happiness is like a long term thing. So it's like, if money can't fulfill something long term, then to me it can't buy happiness. So.
Yep. Okay, 20.
That's where I'm at with it.
I like it.
Okay. All right. So, all right. No. This is real, because I feel like I'm not trying to change how y'all feel. I feel like I got to give you a different perspective, because you said pursuit of happiness. I'm gonna take it back to that movie, A Pursuit of Happiness. When was he happy? At the end, when he got a job. If that whole movie, if he was struggling that whole movie, that wouldn't have been a happy movie at all. If he never got to the point where he got the job, they probably would have took his son. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being serious. Like if he's not in a mode to say, if he's in front of the judge and the judge say, hey, you got to have this amount of money or we're gonna take your child. Money can't buy happiness, Judge. You think that's going to let the judge say, hey, you know what, Mr. Williams, you're right. You are so right. Go ahead, take that kid back and y'all live in the subway like y'all been doing the last 3 or 4 months. I'm just being real. And you say longevity. I feel like if the things that you do when you're in the pursuit of being financially stable, you know what I'm saying? Like, those longevities are the things that's getting taken care of by money. If you're talking about legacy, if you're talking about having a family, bro, how are you going to have a family with no money? There's no way to solidify your family state on this earth. You know what I mean? Like, I see if we were still living in time where money wasn't a major issue, which is an acronym for Miami. But like I said, if we wasn't staying in a time where money is a major issue, I'm going to say it one more time, then I would agree with that. But since we are living in a time where money is not a major issue, then I can't.
No more. Hey, okay.
Hey, don't stop me, bro. Hey, listen, which one do you want? Do you want us to come full field, or do you want us to sit back in our seat? Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Mario. Because you're getting shifty with the Barry Sanders jersey on. So let me know which one you want.
No. I applaud everybody. The reason why I brought the applause, I applaud everybody so far for where we're at with this. And this is what the emotion that I had when I was scrolling the timeline. I'm like, oh shit, I'm tired. I'm tired laying in bed, but it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. I'm the only one in here. It's getting hot because of how I feel. Like, shit. You sit on the train tracks of, I know. I can't buy happiness, whatever that is. I can't buy it, but man, niggas is killing niggas over being impoverished. at a baseline, like lives are ending because of no money.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like I sit in that spot, like, and then I was thinking, like, who said money can't buy happiness? What did they mean? Okay, like I get where everybody else is at, because like you said, it might be a broke nigga that's like, I say this so that I don't lose my mind being broke. Or you got a rich person or a well-off person saying, look, man, I have not done the work to make all these items give me pleasure. That's how, and I was me. I'm sorry.
I hear you if you say money does not guarantee happiness. I totally 100% agree with that. Money does not guarantee happiness. But the best way to happiness, if you're an individual person, is having a couple things in your pocket.
You can get in the Uber marked happiness, or you can get on the skateboard marked happiness.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when we
who's gonna get to Happy Town?
On the bus. Okay.
Who's going to get to Happy Town quicker?
Which one? Who's getting to Happy Town quicker?
Ask Elon Musk. You know what? Ask Elon Musk, who flew from like San Antonio to, somewhere. It was like a 9-minute flight. Ask him. Private jet to happiness.
Like, you know what?
Fool didn't like the traffic in Los Angeles, so he got an underwater tunnel. So he had to deal with the traffic. That's probably a myth. But still, that's money. It gotta take money to even think of some shit like that, bro.
Yeah, like you gotta be on some different wavelengths. All right. Look. Let's get into the origin, man. Hold on. Cause we getting there. We need some help. So let's get into the origin. See, it's a good binder for us. It's a good binder, that little thing, because we be going, and then it settles you down, the origin music, right? So let's get into it. So my man Rousseau, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, very, very famous writer, philosopher, said in 1750, money can buy material things, but real happiness must be truly earned. He often some people use it ironically now, and then he also went on to say money buys everything except morality and citizens. And you'll see why the citizens part makes sense as we dig into his life. So money can buy material things, but real happiness must be truly earned. And money buys everything except morality and citizens. All right, jumping off point. We're gonna get into this because the rest of this, the origin, we're gonna focus on Mr. Rousseau, because this phrase it starts with that, and he coined it in that way, and it's important to know why he would even say this. So we're gonna touch base on this first before we get into other stuff. 20. Money can buy material things, but real happiness must be truly earned. Thoughts?
But like I said, I feel like that's the whole pursuit of happiness and really looking at what your meaning of happiness is. You get what I'm saying? Like, what's your meaning of happiness? If it has nothing to do with money, then yeah, that you're one of the cases where maybe your pursuit to happiness is just waking up every day. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that doesn't take money to do. You get what I'm saying? But how many people, you get what I mean? Like, I feel like if you're going to make a broad analysis of it, it has to be in a senses of everybody's case, or majority of everyone's case. It can't just be like a 5%. Oh, it's 5% of the people that are living don't need money to live. Oh yeah, so yeah, money doesn't make, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro, like that doesn't happen. I feel like that's not how it happens. So when it says that, you don't, it can't buy morals or character and stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. But that means you're going away from what you're saying. You get what I mean? That's what you're now that's an add on to happiness. That's you saying happiness to you is moral compass and character. You get what I'm saying? Like, if that's what it is, if that's what you're saying your happiness is, then of course, because that's nothing tangible. But I guarantee in the pursuit of trying to figure it out, you're going to have some kind of money in your pocket, or it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like the problems that you get without having it is going to interfere with you finding your happiness.
Gotcha. I'm going to interrupt you. Let's stay there. Mick.
Okay, so to stay where we at, like, and that's the thing, like, that's the hard part about these blanket statements, because it's like, you really can't, like, there was some report about this country, that was like super, super poor, but it was like one of the happiest, like, there's an actual happiness report that they've been doing since 2012, and they were so poor, but they were so happy, like, they were just like, we come from a different type of life, where money isn't even a focus for us. Like, a focus for us is how we live, how we are, how we be, like, how we treat each other. So for them, it's a different thing. So it's like, I feel like because we live in this capitalistic society, that's what we know. And we just there. But in so many other places and so much more of the world, it's different. So, like, I'm sticking with it.
I like it, and we're gonna get there. Hold that. I hope everybody. I mean, it seems true to form. So hold that, because yes, when we get into Rousseau, Tiff, you in there?
I'm in there. So
right.
Something that I heard that was very important was money can't buy morals. I can kind of say that money might be the complete opposite of morals. Like, money might corrupt your morals a little bit. As far as billionaires and what they had to do to get their money and hoarding the resources, that might be the antithesis, the opposite. Money might be the opposite of having some good morals. I want to delve into that a little bit.
Okay, look, I need all three of you to hold that. Let's go with Rousseau. Let's talk about this man, because that's where it gets, and it's important. Hey, hold on. I knew it. Okay, it's a big black ant right there, and he walked across the camera lens. So there we go. This is a great day. This is a great day for a record. I know that was my my bad voice.
Is Rue there?
Is Rue there? Get on that toilet.
Put that down.
Get on the toilet.
You better be in the toilet.
You better be in that toilet. Yeah, exactly. Oh, let me flick Guy Gordy. 1 second. I didn't kill him, y'all. To the viewers, I didn't kill him. I flicked him off my camera. Okay, he's alive and well somewhere, probably sending out signals. You should have killed him.
What's the ant to the bottom of my boot?
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He was a Genevan philosopher, so Geneva, Switzerland. Beautiful place, by the way. Philosopher, writer, and composer. He was mainly in the realm of politics, so he's considered a political philosopher. And his philosophy influenced the progress of enlightenment throughout Europe. Okay, so he helped drive aspects of the French Revolution and the development of the modern political, economic, and educational thought. So a lot of the discourse we see now or hear now comes from Rousseau. Okay. So let's get into it. So let's talk about Geneva. Being from Geneva is an important part of the story and an important part of why this man would say money can buy material things, but real happiness must truly be earned, and that money buys everything except morality and citizens. Now, everything means everything, so I'm that type of person, but whatever. So Geneva was a democratic male voting citizenship, which is like not off at the time. But the citizens were the minority of the population compared to the immigrants. So Geneva had indigenous people there, and they were called natives. And instead of being run by the citizens, they were ruled by a small number of wealthy families that made up the Council of 200. Okay, so let's start. If you're following me, let's position like, okay, most of the people, the original folks, were not in control of Geneva. Very wealthy people were. Okay. So then this is where this dude grew up. Okay, this is where Rousseau grew up. And they delegated their power, the Council of 200, delegated their power to a 25-member group called the Little Council. So you got the Council of 200, and then you got the Little Council, who the 200 be like, hey, y'all 25, do what we say in the realest way ever. Like, y'all gonna do what we say, and that's how Geneva gonna be run. So there was a lot of debate in Geneva, down to like the tradespeople, obviously like the working people, right? Those are usually the shifters and the crux of what's going to happen. How do the wealthy elite keep everybody in line? You keep the workers happy, the key tradespeople happy, and then let the people that are underneath them and above them do the yakking, right? The middle class as we know it today. Please the middle class, the other ones, you know what I'm saying? So there was a big discussion around the time where he was Rousseau was born, where they wanted to to go into a sovereign state, so sovereignty of the people, meaning mostly get to actual democracy versus this oligarchy where like everybody, the ruling class. Okay, so the people were ready. So there was a reformer who was leading this charge named Pierre Fascio. And he was a protester, big time protester, saying that how can we be a sovereign? How can Geneva be a sovereign state and the sovereign acts are imaginary? They're not real. Like y'all say it, y'all talking about it, but it's not real. There are 25 people that are making decisions that are coming from 200 wealthy people. And so he said this a little bit too loud. My man Pierre got shot down by the little council in literal sense, killed him. So, so at this time though, pushing P,
you feel me?
Yep. And so Rousseau's father, Isaac, was not at the city in the time. So he wasn't in Geneva at this time, but Jacques' grandfather, Isaac's father, was there. And he was a main big supporter, vocal public supporter of Fascio. And his grandfather, because he was such a vocal and public supporter of Fascio, was penalized for supporting Fascio. So Rousseau's grandfather got penalized for supporting someone that's like, hey man, the wealthy folks cannot be running this game and then telling us that the people are in control, right? So that's his father, grandfather connection. Now, let's talk a little bit about his parents. And feel free to jump in, but I'm gonna go because this dude's story matters. So his mother, Suzanne, comes from an upper class family, right? And Suzanne had to go through it, and she was actually raised by her uncle, and her uncle got into some shit, and she had to dip because being in an upper class family, when you get into some shit, is there's notoriety behind it. So she married Isaac Rousseau because they were like regular folks. Right.
So Mario, let me ask you this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have a gap. Is this this saying right here, is it said by a lower class person or upper class person?
We will get there. Good question. Let me answer that right now. Okay. Good question. So let's just say that. So Rousseau, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, mother comes from upper class, married Isaac Rousseau after having to dip out of the city for craziness. Isaac followed in the family trajectory the watchmaking business, which is a Swiss watch. so it's decent. We know Swiss watches, right? So that made them middle class. They were a middle class family. Rousseau was very proud to be in this family and very proud of being from Geneva and proud that his family had voting rights in the city. So they were middle class, but like you said, his grandfather was in the mix, in the political mix, which made his father in the political mix. He actually ran into some difficulties where he got into it with some English officers just because of the reputation. And they pulled their swords out on him and was like, yo, we will off you right now, Isaac. We will off you right now. You keep making this noise about reform and shit. And local officials stepped in, and guess who got in trouble for that? If you're guessing, you got English folks, you got Isaac, and then you got the local officials. The English folks pulled their swords out. Isaac just saying, hey, man, let's keep this reform talk going. Yeah. Isaac caught some wind, caught some heat for just being in the town. So this sets up Rousseau's upbringing. All right. Where we at? I'm just want to check in with folks. Fave, where we at?
I'm listening. I'm in the story. We deep in here.
Mm-hmm.
So he get blamed for it because they up the swords on him. And then my man Isaac gets played for it. Okay, we got to pad into the money came back happiness.
We getting there. We getting there. Right? Like, damn. Okay, this is what life is like from wealthy people and shit. That's what we starting to form that. Mick, where you at with where Rousseau is now seeing his. I mean, I don't know how much he knows that his mother is upper class, but it makes it has to play a role. But go ahead.
It does play a role now in my way of thinking, because it being a political statement versus being like an emotional statement changes the whole meaning of the phrase for me. Because it's like, because the fact that it ended with you can't buy the citizens, you can't buy morality or whatever, it's basically saying like, y'all ain't shit, and y'all can't fuck with us, like, and y'all not gonna do this to us, and I don't care how much money y'all got, like, y'all can't do this. So it, like, now it's kind of like a personal statement for that person, and like I'm damn like a war cry. Almost like you can't buy us,
It's
like, and whatever.
Standing up, right?
Okay.
Standing up.
Yeah, it's
20.
It's lining up now. Okay.
It is 20. Where you at?
I feel like it sounds like this is a scorn statement. Like, this is a statement said by somebody that's scorned. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like if nothing would have happened to him negatively, he probably wouldn't have said. Like, majority of the people that have related to this or say this with, you know what I'm saying, in a sense of emotion, it's something negative happening to them. Because, like, if you're getting money and you're happy and whatever the case may be, you're not thinking about how money doesn't buy happiness. But if it's a situation of, like, now you're looking at, okay, well, my eyes are open now. I lost my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see, or these people who I thought were my friends aren't my friends, or these people that I had, even though I don't know them, but here I am looking at them as more than human or more than just regular people, actually looking at their money. And then when you realize that, well, these people are regular beings, they're going to have mental issues, they're going to have problems just like me, then that's when you're like, oh, see, money can't buy happiness. Mm-hmm. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change who you are as a person. You get what I'm saying? It changes your circumstances? It changes definitely your circumstances, but it doesn't change who you are as a person. And if you're a person that can't find happiness at all, you're not going to find it broke or with money.
Okay, don't go too far. Let's go. Let's stay with Rousseau. I like that because I have feelings about that. Deep feelings about that. Which is like the phrase. Like, anything, insert, can't produce, can't buy happiness, can't acquire anything. Fucking anything. Anyways, so childhood Rousseau sees granddaddy get in trouble. Sees pops get in trouble. So let's jump to when he's in his 20s. So he met this woman named something DeWarren's. I don't want to say her first name. It was his first, like, love interest. Loved her to death. Super loved her. You know what I'm saying? I have to make that clear. Loved her. All right. Even, like, tried out weird things sexually with her. And he was embarrassed about it, uncomfortable, but loved her that much. That's the only reason why I say that. Like, and they include that in the notes. So I'm like, I'm going to include that in the notes.
Where you read that at? They said they was doing a strange thing.
They was doing a strange thing. Even I mean, they was getting together groups of threes and shit. And he was like, man, I'm just a son of a watchmaker.
Okay. Sometimes love make you do some weird shit. It was some
crazy shit, right? So, yeah, I'm just, he always, all this stuff, like, the reason why I say that, because he felt it threw him off, but he did it because he loved her. He always even noted her as the greatest love of his life, even though he got married later on. And this woman, the reason why this matters is because this woman was a big spender. She liked nice things. She liked to buy things. She had a very large library. So, you know, books are the premium at this time in the 1700s. Books are the thing. They are, you feel me? Like, books.
Bitch, another book?
Okay.
Damn. Another book?
Another book.
So he was doing strange things for some change, is what we talking about then.
Strange things for some books.
She was, I guess. and she loved to entertain and listen to music. So, like, she just lived a lifestyle that costs, okay? And this was the biggest love of his life. So if he's willing to do wild, crazy things in the relationship sexually, just think about keeping up with the spending, right? And so at 25, he came into a small inheritance from his mom, that upper classness. And he used a portion of that to pay her back for financial support of him. So she must have loved him too, because she was giving him bread. So just let's notice the financial things going on. And then in 1742, he was like, all right, I'm gonna move to Paris because I'm starting to understand that money moves things, I guess, and to present to the Académie des Sciences, which is the Academy of Sciences, with a new system of numbered musical notation. So he was like getting into the music because of her. She introduced him to a lot of dope music stuff. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna come up with this little musical notation and sell it. And he thought this would make him a fortune. So he's on the pursuit too, right? He's like, all right, money moves. I need this money. I gotta make sure Miss DeWarnes is good and shit. I want to make sure she's in my life forever. Let's jump to 43 to 44, 1743, 1744. He got a job at the secretary of the Comte de Montaigu. So he's in France, he's in Paris, gets a nice little job. It's an honorable job. It's in working within the city in the nobility market, I would say. But it's ill paying. It don't pay a lot. Okay. But he was working for the French ambassador to Venice. Okay. And so being around this awoken his love for music and shit, which matters because, you know, the starving artist. So as he's working there, again, for the fucking French ambassador of Venice, the employer, whoever is like his direct employer in there, they typically paid them late, like almost a year late, and they paid them irregularly. So after 11 months, Rousseau quit, and he took from that an experience of distrust of the government bureaucracy. He just was like, yo, they don't even be paying niggas. Like the government don't pay nobody. And I don't like that. So I quit. Even though I love music and I love where I'm at, I quit. I'm gonna stop right there and check in. Any thoughts, feelings arising?
No.
It kind of goes back to what you did
What's
about
that?
how, like, you really don't think about you not being happy if you're happy. You know, like if you good, if you all the way together or whatever, like you're not like, damn, like money don't buy. You know, like, so my man's was just, I don't know, it's weird because he was really like trying to, was he competing like with, like, he was just trying to pay her back, right? Like that's all he was doing.
I mean, so there's no added context. So he's the writer, right? He's the writer. I'm sure there's people that have written about him, but he's the writer. So I don't know how deep he's going to get into like, yo, and she was like, I need these nice things. And I'm like, all right, slide me to 20 so I can buy it. And I got you back. Because, you know, at that day, the man had to pay for things. So he's like, slide me to 20. I'm going to get the books. That'll get you 45 books, $20. And he's like, and I'll pay you back, I promise. And so he was on a pursuit of that. And then he wanted to become something. So he moved to Paris, from Switzerland to Paris. He wanted to be something and make some bread. You feel me? Anybody else want to get in or want me to keep the show going?
No, yeah, keep
Let's
it going.
roll it. Let's roll it. All right.
Yeah,
Let's roll it.
It still seems like from a scoring spot. You get what I'm saying? Either
you said broken scoring. All right.
Oh yeah,
broke and scorn. Well, he wrote. So that was in 44. So 10 years later, at 1754, he wrote his thoughts on human nature, and he said this: the first man who, having fenced in a piece of land, said, "This is mine," and found people naive enough to believe him. That man was the true founder of civil society. From how many crimes, wars, and murders, from how many horrors and misfortunes might not anyone have saved mankind by pulling up the stakes or filling up the ditch or crying up to his fellows, beware of listening to this impostor. You are undone if you once forget that the fruits of the earth belong to us all and the earth itself to nobody. That's what he felt about his thoughts on human nature. Like, man, and we talked about this on the Mother's Day episode a little bit, 20. we spoke on this, and I brought up like, yeah, the minute they started putting water in a bottle and saying, here's the price. Okay, all right, we're lost. And then Mama Sheila, 20's mom, like, and we pay to drive on roads that we didn't used to pay for.
For real.
And it's like, that is kind of what Rousseau's talking about. Like, the minute somebody was like, this mine, in a way that's like commodifies it, we lost ourselves. So then he started, he asserted that the stage of human development associated with what he called the savages. So his definition of savages was the best or optimal part of human development when we were at the savage level. He thought that that anything above that, we started to lose the essence of human nature and life. And this led some people to believe that he actually invented the idea of the noble savage. So like the nobility in being what society or civilization would call the savage. And so he said, according to him, Rousseau thinks that savages had grown less dependent on nature and had instead become dependent on one another, and with society leading to the loss of freedom through the misapplication of perfectability. So let me get into what he meant by perfectability, unless anybody has anything to say. Bet, let's roll. And this is a different one, y'all. Like, we are sticking with this one man because there's a lot that goes into this saying, and we be going for this saying, and whole like lives are spent on this saying, and it's really like, it's not a lot of layers. It's this one man's whole life experience in the fact that he was able to write about it and get it out. So according to him, the misapplication of perfectibility was developed through this innate feeling of perfectibility in humanity. So that's okay. He's like, perfectibility in humanity is to include like a sense of self, morality, pity, and imagination. And then he wrote that his writings were purposely ambiguous concerning how these things came to be, just to point out that the mediation of it was like just human nature. So it's like, I'm not going to get too specific because the pursuit to be perfect could be the perfect self, or the pursuit to be perfect could be morally perfect, or perfect, your perfect imagination to think of a new world. So he left it because that's the natural human development. And then he said that conversely, where we start to go wrong is the notion that individuals needed an alternative perspective to come to the realization that he or she is a person, is a self, like something to bounce off your self-image. You know what I'm saying? So that's where he started to ride into. And he said that as long as there's differences in wealth and status among families, as long as that was small as you can make it, then the first coming together in groups was accompanied by the fleeting of a golden age of human flourishing. So as soon as people started to like grow fruits, agriculture, and have private property and divisions of labor and dependency on one another, once that became an economic thing and not just a survival thing, inequality and conflict springs up and we are losing our way. We're done. Humans are done. And then he says that humans started to compare ourselves with each other. And then we began to notice that like the qualities, we had different qualities from one another. And instead of just noticing and observing those qualities, we added like moral significance to those qualities. And you start to create self-esteem off of those qualities. And then you start to create envy from those qualities. And then you start to create social hierarchies over those qualities. And then you lose the savage nature of man, and you become the sociable man who is always outside of himself. The savage person lives within. The social person lives outside of themselves and can only live based on the opinion of others. So this resulted in the corruption of humankind, producing combinations of fatality to innocence and happiness. So we lost our ability to be truly happy and innocent when society was created. That is this nigga's whole idea. He thinks that the more we got, the more we get, the worse we get as people. Mick.
I feel that I can kind of agree with that. As we're living in a capitalistic society right now today, the more we get, the more we acquire, the worse we are morally.
Say more about that. Say more about that. You got something that sticks out in your mind. A specific example that sticks out in your mind.
Not off the top of my head. It's just like it in general.
Yeah.
We're greedy people, right? The more we get, like not we, because I ain't in that number to be rich like that. But we got billionaires and millionaires and people who, in general, who just hoard resources. You know what I'm saying? Like you got enough for you and you got enough for your family. Not even necessarily money exactly, but just resources in general. You know what I'm saying? You got enough for you to be all right, and you got enough for your family to be all right, but you're still hoarding things. You're still trying to acquire things, and it messes with us as a people morally, for sure. It messes with your morals. So yeah, I can see. The more greed.
Does that mess with your happiness? You saying it directly intervenes with happiness?
To them, that may make them happy at the moment. We talk about long term, no. It don't do nothing for you long term. Or at the end of life, when hindsight is 20/20, right? When you reach the end of your life and you kind of look back, that shit ain't mean nothing. All that materialistic stuff that you've acquired, it does not mean not one thing. You can't take it with you. They ain't gonna put it in the grave with you. They ain't gonna back up the Brinks truck to your grave and put that in the grave with you. They ain't gonna do none of that. It means nothing at the very end of the day.
I'm with you. Okay, I'm with you. Mick, where you at?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like for an example, so to give an example, we could just talk about sneaker culture. There was a time where you could just go in the store and just go get, a pair of Nikes and ain't no problem. And now we have Nike and StockX going back and forth with each other. These two big companies who have all the money, who have all the resources, and are still like, we're mad at you because you sold us these fake shoes or whatever. And it's like the fact that that's even the thing, the fact that resellers and bots are a thing because of greed of money, because it's not even about the culture. It's not even about the morality of the culture. It's about, we just want as much money as possible. The fact that there's whole discussions about, y'all buying fake shoes, y'all buying fake stuff, like something wrong with you personally if you buying fake stuff. And it's like, when did we get here? Like, when did we get where you're morally incorrect for putting shoes on your feet that, you know what I mean? Like that you bought, like it's the love of money thing. Like we said before, like it's not about money being the issue about morality. It's the love of it. It's the desire, the want for more, the greed. So, yeah.
And I'm going to ask you the same thing. And it intervenes with happiness?
I feel like if you're greedy, you'll never be happy. So, yeah, I feel like if you're insatiable, then where does the happiness come in? Like, when are you full?
20.
What's the limit? What's the line? Sorry.
No, you good. You good. I like it. Where you at, man? Where you at? Rousseau said that the minute we started commodifying happiness and innocence was gone.
I guess that comes with the whole ignorance is bliss thing too, as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it does.
Like once you start to realize what it takes to, just live a comfortable life, you have to have certain things in that realm to live a comfortable life, and that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can make sacrifices, or yeah, you can do without things. But when it comes to whatever your perspective is on happiness comes, bro, you're gonna need certain things to get to it.
Yeah.
And you can act like just because you can't get them, like, it don't matter, but that doesn't make that statement true or not.
Right.
Just because you act like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I'm gonna get through this last little round, and then it should spark what I really want to ask before we grade this thing out. So this was all in Europe, okay? Geneva, Switzerland to Paris. Rousseau, 1700s to the late 1800s. He had, not really late 1800s. The man died in 78, okay? So he didn't actually live that long. He didn't actually live that long. Born in 17, done in 78. And he just came to the conclusion that, like, there's really no point to grabbing all this stuff. And he used it to drive political things because maybe resources is the thing that money buys that equals happiness. And he's saying that at the core and at the root that happiness, we shouldn't have to buy that, but we do. Anyways, so we went through Europe, but when it first got to the United States, it actually didn't get to the United States, ironically, like in a major sense. And I didn't notice till 96. Till 96 when it became was included in William and Mary College's quarterly review. And that's when they plastered it, and it kind of like, okay, people are saying this in a way. And I think they even sourced and cited Rousseau. And then they also use various forms throughout it, like money can't buy everything, money can't buy friends, money can't buy love, blah, 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 blah. So that was in the Random House Dictionary in 96. So there's other variations, like money will buy everything but real happiness, and money won't buy happiness, but it will go a long way in helping you. Some people have said that. And one relatively new one is that money can't buy happiness, but it allows you to rent it. Is that something that sounds like it'll resonate? Money can't buy happiness, but allows you to rent it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm with that.
That's literally my whole thought process towards that phrase is you can rent it, but at the end of the day, like, I mean, it's just like money can't buy health. Like, there's plenty of rich people who, unfortunately have lost their lives to, diseases and things like that because all the money in the world couldn't buy you, a cure for cancer, or all the money in the world couldn't buy, so it's levels. That's why it's like, it's hard to like use such a blanket statement because happiness means so many different things to different people.
Real.
That part. Well, I don't think we took that into consideration either. Happiness is different things to different people. You know what I'm saying? So financially, you ain't gonna be able to buy it. It could be chilling with your family or, chilling with your pet. It's different things.
Real. Let me add this to it because I come from the black church, right? So there's biblical connections to this phrase, money can't buy happiness. One is the love of money is the root of all evil, which thank you, Mick, for bringing out 1 Timothy 6:10 for those that do the KJV or any, whatever. And then you got the other one that it doesn't directly conflict, but, some people try to.
But do you actually believe that money is the root of all evil?
The love of it?
The love of money is what the book
love
says.
of money is the root of all evil?
I would have to, this is why I want to learn Hebrew. I got to know that it means money because it got to be the love of, because money wasn't first, but it might be the love of acquiring something that is not yours, the love of acquiring. It has to be somewhere around that realm, which I can say is the greed is the root of evil. Not taking more than what's yours is the root of all evil. I think if you can skin down everything, it's like, damn, you just don't want to sit in what's yours. Because once you start intervening in what's not yours, then you hurting somebody else, and that's where evil starts to permeate.
Just asking.
But there's another verse in the Bible that says feasts are made for laughter and wine makes life merry, but money is the answer for everything.
I mean, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, bro, like when, Cain didn't kill Abel about money. And that was supposed to be like the first, situation where you've known of murder, when you've known of, or
it was related to it.
Eve didn't eat the apple because of money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's supposed to be like the first sin. So it's like, it's really, it's weird when it comes to like saying, like, I just feel like it's just like guns kill people, not people kill people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those situations where they try to blame everything but the actual person. You get what I'm saying? Because somebody could have money and show love. You get what I'm saying? Or show, build a community or build, to uplift a country or build a dynasty. You get what I'm saying? Like,
hey, man.
Like the thing, that's not evil.
I'm going to tell you like this, brother. I'm going to tell you like this. Okay? I knew what life was like when I didn't have nothing in the pocket. You feel me?
Oh, yeah. We both
knew
did.
what life was like when I didn't have nothing. Yeah, we was together. We was together, nigga. Dorito dinners.
Eating Dorito dinners, baby.
Dorito
Sleep
bag
for
dinners.
breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Nigga rate for lunch. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? And I'm over here like, okay, life could be better. I want to do things, give to people, serve. I can't. So you've heard some people say like, you can't pour out of an empty cup, shit like that. So no, we're not talking about money when we talk about that, but we're talking about money when we talk about that. It's how I feel because, Cain and Abel, if you want to go there, Cain and Abel, Cain broke off Abel's head because Abel had more to give. That's why he busted that nigga in the head. And then with Adam and Eve, it was like, you want to know more? You want to know more? You want to have more? You want to have some more knowledge, nigga? There's more knowledge out here. So like, that's why I think like it might not be money. The Hebrew, King James was like, what do we use to get people moving? Money. So subtract whatever that word is in Hebrew that I'm not going to even translate. Y'all translators, change that shit to money. Cause that makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's possibly, what happened. But I think the root or the source may be the desire for more than what you have, which I do think is the root of all evil. And you can't be happy with that because that is insatiable. Always getting what's not yours is the wildest fucking shit ever. Like you will look for 1,000,000 shoes if you can't find your size. You will look for 1,000 fucking pairs of shoes and never just grab the ones that say 11. My nigga, that's it. Those are the only ones you need is 11s. You don't need the 10s. You don't need the 9.5s. You don't need the 13s.
I feel like it's very important to note that these people are talking about like all the people with money back then were evil. So it's like they only know to associate. They probably only knew to associate money with evil, and it's like really power is really the thing because that's like money is power, is respect, all that is like so. I feel like power damn near can be the root. Like, how much more can I do? Elon Musk, like he's trying to buy Twitter for what? Just because you can, because it's just something that you could just do. Like, and he basically was like, it's not because because it's just on the list. So like it's a power thing. It's a power struggle. That's what the whole phrase came from in the first place. A power struggle. So I feel like that's the majority of the world. Like that's why some people I feel have found happiness in other things because they've never known power. They've never known like the power that comes to money. So
and as well, man. Mick, I feel like this. Like if you can, like a lot of people that have these jobs where say they're working at. And it's not even trying to disrespect anybody's job. Let's just say they had a job where lower level job where they're only making $8 an hour, right? And they're living their lifestyle, and they've adapted their lifestyle to a person who only makes $8 an hour. Now you take that person and put them in a different setting where to them making $20 an hour is, whoa, that even lets in self-doubt because damn, can I do a job, work $20 an hour? Because I'm so comfortable in this $8 an hour job. I don't have no stress. I come in, the owner ain't expecting too much from me. He just don't want nobody to steal, blase. It's easy. I get my check, this and that. I buy my drink. I go this, I play scratch. You know what I'm saying? Like people, they mold their selves into what they have so much that it seemed to be asking for more, like you say, Mario, to want to get a job that's going to pay me $20 an hour when I'm just fine doing with this job that pays me $8 an hour?
Money can't buy happiness, man. All right, let's do one thing before we grade. I love this discourse. I didn't expect this to come to a conclusion, but maybe the grades will pull out a conclusion or some type of conclusionary statement. But I'm in data. When I'm not doing this, I'm in data. I love data. I don't love stats, but I love data. But I'm gonna give y'all some stats. So people actually studied this. You know, so Mick said there's a happiness study. There's a money to happiness correlation study. So in June 2016, the economics paper states that negative emotions decrease at a constant rate until income approaches about 80,000. So as income nears about 200,000, negative emotions continue to decrease, implying a happier life. If that doesn't convince you, the University of Michigan, where we at, even though I'm a Spartan fan, they have data from 2013 that examined 155 countries, including 95% of the world's population. That's wild. And knowing how data is collected, whatever. But it's the University of Michigan. They got resource. They have money to do this. Is that they determined that well-being and income consistently rise in tandem. So if there is the author of this scholarly article said, if there is a satiation point, we have yet to reach it. So I don't know if that's chicken or the egg. I don't know. I'm not saying that proves it. I'm not going to go on record and say that proves that money can buy happiness. What I'm saying is that I don't know if because of the way our structure is set up that the shit is insatiable to the niggas that have it all, that they create that like road to feeling that way for everyone underneath them. Even to like having 200K, which is a wild, like that is an easy way to live. Like don't let nobody in the world tell you that 100K ain't money. Don't let nobody tell you this shit, man. Don't let nobody it's a great way to live, dog. It's a great way to live. So yeah. I get that. I'm just trying to say like the money, because I think it's resources, acquiring resources. We may be saying that resources are harder to come by. And the why for that is different than this phrase. The why our resources hard to come by is different than money can't buy them hoes. And I'm on team money buys resources. Resources give happiness. I'm on that team for right now. That's the phase I'm in my life, if I'm willing to put that out there. All right, y'all, let's grade the phrase, man. We've been rocking this shit out for almost an hour doing our thing. I love it because this is one of my favorite groups. Let's grade this shit. So this is how we gonna do it.
Mario,
say it.
I would say this. The more money you got, the quicker that year go by. When you broke, that's the longest year. Them 365, dude. Them things feel like a goddamn 1,365, man. But when you doing good, nigga, you be like, damn it, it's Christmas already.
It's only Thursday.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, when you broke, that's the longest year you will ever have, bro. Like, but when you got bread, bro, when your pocket's good, nigga, trust me, boy, them holidays come by quick.
Let me tell you about that, nigga, because the feeling, and I ain't nobody, but everything costs though, and it's louder. It's actually louder when you finally feeling comfortable. Like, god damn, that costs too. Bruh. Like I just smelled the outside. I just stuck my neck out in the shit.
And you spent $100 was out your account. So
oh my god!
Outside your porch, you was lighter at least $100.
Hey, bro,
all these nice days, you see where me and my daughter been on these nice days, spending money.
Spending cash. Like, thank you for them pictures. Money. I know them shits cost you. Them was beautiful pictures of you and your baby. I know that shit ran you.
Yeah.
Well, the only way you can save money is you go to work. The only way you can save money if you go to work, man. You have one off day, boy. You spend at least $200 on your off day. You're like, hey, now I gotta go back to this motherfucker for like 6 more straight days. You get what I'm saying? Like that's just how it is, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like it's one of those things where if you can get out of that norm, that mindset, bro, trust me, it's like you're right, Mario. Right now, I feel like if you're not getting over 100. It's hard. You still counting those days. You still counting them checks. You still, you know what I'm saying? Making sure you budget in and all that other stuff, bro, because everything costs now, man. I still remember when $20 could get me through the whole week, man. Like,
that day is gone, man. That's them days of Rousseau. That's them days of Rousseau, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Them ain't these days.
Yeah.
Them days of Rousseau, bro. Get you a nice little book collection for $15. All right.
Yeah.
Let's grade this, man. Let's grade this.
Enough for a nigga to buy books back then.
Man, get you a couple. Well versed. I'm well versed. Shit, I'm well versed.
That's how they used to holler at him, Mario. But is he getting you books though?
What is he getting you?
Because he gets you them books.
What that nigga get you?
Hardbacks.
Is that a hardback or a paperback?
That's a paperback. It's like old paperback nigga, man. Old paperback. You still working with them paperback niggas, man? Step up to these hardback book niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Still fucking with them broke paperback book niggas. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah. Look at the corners
of the paperback, baby. You know what I'm saying? Look at the corners of the paperback book, baby. You need to get you a hardcover, baby.
Get you a hardcover. Yeah, bro. How you carrying them books around? You ain't got no shelf? My man's ain't got you a bookshelf? Yeah, it's like that. It's like that.
Bro.
All right, so this is what we gonna do, man. This is what we gonna do. I'm gonna do the power. I'm gonna do the power. 20, you gonna do the speed. And then we gonna let Mick and Fave get that wild card, that preference. Cause I need it summed up. So I'm gonna hit the power, man, and the power grade is the impact of this phrase. Does it when it's said or it's heard, does it shake the room? Does it shake the table? Man, look, you see how long this episode was. And we only talked about one person. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this an A+ on impact. That ant is on my printer, y'all. I'm gonna give I should have killed him.
Listen, hindsight 2020. Should have killed him.
The Vin Diesel of ants, B.
He is, man. Family.
The Vin Diesel of ants. Whatever you do is not gonna matter.
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A+, man. It's one of those things. It's set up to where it's gonna be an A+ for all of our born days, man. It's a powerful statement because you gotta, whether you agree or disagree, you gotta get down. You gotta get down with whether it's buying you happiness or not. So A+. All right. 20 speed, man. How's it coming off the tongue? How's it eloquent?
No, man. I feel like it definitely. I'm gonna give the grade first. I'm gonna give it a B+.
Okay.
Even though I don't agree with it, I'm gonna definitely give it a B+. It's one of those situations where, you know, it's probably one of the most known ones too as well. Once you realize you're putting it into a category, it's probably be one of the most known ones. I mean, a lot of people said. It's one of those things where you're gonna hear it throughout the tip. As long as money's a thing, you're gonna hear it. You get what I'm saying? And it's easy to say. It's one of those things that definitely gets right to the point. Still, I don't agree with it, but it's definitely a B+ when it comes to grading on my aspect, just because I feel like it should be different words. So that's why I didn't get the A for me. But when it comes to speed, I give it a B+ because even the words that they chose is very, it goes together very well.
B+, my guy. All right. Let's go to Mick, man. Where you at, Mick? With the whole thing. So this your guest preference. You like, look, speed, power, origin, meaning, how I feel, everything.
I feel the same. Just because it's relative, like I said. But I feel like the phrase definitely gonna shake some rooms as it has, as it does. It's always a constant conversation. Like Tony said, it's always gonna be something that we're gonna talk about as long as money rules everything. And with everything now being more expensive, like notably more expensive, you know, you see I'm doing this formula shortage like thing that I'm doing right now. Like,
shout out to you for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Like it's been, yeah, like I've been shown more and more how money really can't. Like it's not enough. It's really not enough. So that's how I feel. But I give it give it an A+ for impact. Not enough. A+ for impact, and yeah, like definitely a B. for how it comes out. Cause that's my shit.
Yeah. Got you. Fave, everything. How you feel?
All right. Overall, because I'm gonna give the grade first. Overall, I'm gonna give it an A, and here's why. Money cannot buy happiness in the long term, but in the short term, on days like today, how it is in Detroit when the sun is shining, you got a couple dollars in the bank. Maybe it's Friday, it might be payday for somebody. You feeling real good. You feeling mighty happy today. You know what I'm saying? If your bills pay, you happy. Versus, when they not paying, you biting your nails and you're nervous and your stomach hurt a little bit and your armpits itch. Yeah, that ain't no good feeling. That's not no good feeling at all. So essentially, it can. Like, up front, on the front end of things, money can buy happiness. But like I said, in the long run, for longevity, like at the end, at the end of life, when people be looking back, they don't be saying, I had a whole bunch of money. What's important to them is, their family, their peace, their health. Those are things that make you happy versus money. So I give it an A and not an A plus because it's true in some parts, but in others, in the long run, money's not gonna buy no happiness for real.
A, but not an A plus, an A. All right, now look, I usually don't, but we ain't gonna do the dictionary of misinformation today because we ran crazy.
Yeah.
But
well, then let me ask a question. Do people not give enough credit to being financially stable when it comes to what they look back on their life for?
Okay, let me answer not specifically that question, but I think what I want to say will answer that question. So my thing is like, well, I guess it's already proven not to be true. So maybe it's a very personal statement, and maybe that's what I'm coming away with. It's a very personal statement. It's a statement that is more personal than most, because I feel like to jump on what Faye was saying, in a way, is that I think long money can buy happiness. I think if I keep me $1 till I'm gone, I think I'm pretty good.
Bro, say that again. Try to say it without laughing so the audience can hear it, because I understood what you were saying.
You feel me? So I think that we gonna see because power can corrupt power can corrupt, but absolute power will corrupt absolutely, right? So power and money. So I don't know where I'm gonna be at if the money get a little longer. Because you start to see where people be like, you can't come up here. Like you do get that feeling. Like you start to be like, well, yeah, I won't do that. Just with a little bit more money. You'd be like I need a garage. Like just think about shit like that. Like I need a garage, right? Because I got more money. So my car represents that, and now I need a garage. So I don't know where I would go, but I would like to say that if we're agreeing, because I agree with Faye, I agree with everybody in parts, but my holistic agreement is that happiness is fleeting in general. So if happiness is fleeting in general, don't come up with a phrase that says something can't grab it, because nothing can grab it if it's fleeting. Like it's unfair. Right. I think it puts people in a bad position to say money can't buy happiness and stand on it like that, like that's your moral compass or that's your code, when it's like, nigga, you need money to get though. You need money for something. So like come up with the phrase that says money can get you better sleep, and then decide if you happy off that. And so I'm like, if I get enough dollars, if I have enough dollars to last me my day, and I love Rue and I love my family and I love people, so hopefully I have enough to give to him so that he can decide whether money can buy happiness. But I feel like it's a personal question. It's a personal statement where it's like, if I have enough money, I'll keep buying the momentary happiness. Because then philosophically, we only are living in moments. The past is blah, 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 and the future is blah, but we only had the present. So that's what I'm at. Hey guys,
if anybody come up to y'all with 20 mil and y'all say, you know what, I'm okay, I'm happy, call your boy and give me the 20 mil. I got you.
I'm willing to test it. So Mick, you started out with saying I'm willing to find out. So that's what I'm going to, before we end the show, briefly, what would it look like for y'all if you was when you say I'm willing to find out? What does that look like for y'all? How would you figure you would maneuver with that scenario, that 20 mil scenario? How do you figure you would maneuver? Fave, I'll start with you. Somebody come up to you, 20 million. You say, Are you saying yes?
Of course. Well, I mean, what kind of stipulations we got on it?
There we go. Like, so, and what level will it
You know,
impact?
I
And
don't
what
know.
level will it impact me? That's real. So now
got-
you
Hey,
saying
no. They come up to you, Faye, and say, "I'm trying to buy your happiness. Here's $20."
I'm trying to buy you happiness.
Yeah, not $20, but 20 mil for you to be. All you have to do is be happy.
Nigga, you
Will
know
you
what?
try
Is,
to
you
do
know
that?
what this is? You know what this is? I'm actually scrapping this question on some veto shit. You know why?
Why?
Because this is what's that one Asian movie that everybody loved? Not a
Parasite?
movie, it was a series.
Oh no.
Everybody just loved it on Netflix. Went crazy.
Oh, Flu Game. No, is it a Flu Game? No. What's it called? I didn't see it. Obviously, I did not saw it.
Did you
I
say
didn't see it.
Flu Game?
Obviously, I didn't see it.
You know where I'm at. Come on, y'all.
But you know where we at on Netflix.
On Netflix,
they played all the
You
kid
had to
games
play
and
the
shit.
games to get the money.
Yeah, tag or
Bird
some
games.
shit.
I don't know, nigga.
Bird game, yeah, some shit like that.
No,
I don't think it's Flu Game.
you about to get letters about that.
I think that's the my fault. That's the Korean version. That's the Korean version. My bad. That's the Korean version.
But
Right in
that's
about that.
essentially the thing. Will you play? Will you play? Because that's where the money trying to buy your happiness. Will you play? Because everything has a consequence. You know what I'm saying? So will you play? And so that's what I'll ask. Are y'all playing bird games or whatever it's called?
Squid Games. There it is.
Squid Game. There you go. Squid Game.
Knowing the
Y'all not playing
outcome,
Squid Game?
if somebody walked up to me like, all you gotta do is play these games, I'd be like, all right, well, shit, what kind of game?
Bet, sign me up.
Once
for
they
the
get in there killing people and shit, I got to withdraw. I ain't this what I said that for.
Hey man, look, it's just a situation, man. Like you want to better your situation. If you feel like your situation ain't better, it ain't where it's supposed to be, it's always going to be that incentive to better your situation. You know what I mean? Like, if you're happy where you are, I feel like it's only going to amplify what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like if you have your business and you're happy with your business struggling, imagine how you're going to feel when your business is successful. You don't want your business just to struggle all the time because, you know what I'm saying, you're happy going through the process. That's just like when we talked about the journey as opposed to the destination. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? What are you really praising? Of course, when you get to the destination, you're praising the journey and the trials and tribulations that got you there because that makes getting to the destination a little bit more better. But 9 out of 10 times, man, you ask yourself, do you want to go through this journey or you want to just get to the destination? People are going to say, let me just get to the destination.
Every time. The little money.
Every time. Yeah, the journey of getting money, you're going to appreciate the times where you didn't have it, but you don't want to live in a time where you never have it.
Yeah, nigga.
Or you're not even going to have those times to appreciate.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's where the phrase, and to wrap up because I love y'all. The phrase is like you gotta own it the way you gonna own it because it'll get it. Will it buy you your happiness? Will money buy you your happiness? I don't know. Can it buy your happiness? And we move on. Like that's where I'm at with it. Can it buy your happiness? like Fave said, can't it? Can it not? Question mark. And that's where it got to sit. Can it not? It'll buy some today. And that's all I got is today, maybe. So I appreciate y'all, man. I love it. I won't even do no final words. We've been going crazy. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube for the things. Make sure you subscribe, comment, share. Give. Money where your mouth is, man. Like, in that, maybe we'll look up that phrase. But all I have to say, if you're getting it, and if you're feeling happiness from your money, then imagine what somebody else may feel. Give people a chance. Give people a chance to buy their happiness if you have bought some of yours. All right. And we're gonna get out of here. 20. I thank you. 20. Never took it. Expression Appraisal Team, Mick, Fave, I thank you. I thank you so much. And always remember that if you're broke, if you got it, if you're morally corrupt, if you're a noble savage, or you're a sociable person, that value is truly in the eye of the appraiser. We'll check y'all out next week.